All right, we're recording.
Hi, I'm Candy Chacon. I work at the Liberal Police Department.
I'm Desiree Andrade. I also work at the Liberal Police Department.
I'm Carolyn Garza and I work for maintenance here with Seward County.
I'm Morgan Johnson. I work at the Seward County Sheriff's Office.
James McCann, I work at Seward County Sheriff's Office.
Imagine being 10 years old in the 5th grade. You get to see your father every day. He picks you up from school, sits across from you at the dinner table, asks about your day, and tucks you in at night. To you, he is your own personal hero. He wouldn't let anything ever bad happen to you. Then imagine one day being pulled out of the 5th grade and being told that your hero was gone. Just gone, no goodbye, no explanation, other than some confusing talk about Dad's heart and God having a better plan. I know the world as you know it has just been cracked open. For a lot of people, they can relate to the father sitting across from them or talking about their day. But for 1 out of every 3 of the 24 million children in the United States, this is not a reality. They're growing up in a fatherless home. I'm a 36-year-old mother of 2 wonderful children, and I have their father in our lives. But as a 10-year-old, when my father passed away of a drug-related heart attack one day, my mom came to my school, picked me up, and moved me 1,200 miles away from everything I knew. I went the rest of my life with any type of father figure. I've spent years of self-reflection and therapy trying to overcome the damage of having no father. Specifically, I want to educate people on the phenomenon of fatherless households and the effect that it has on women growing up in them. There are 7 million children in America living in a fatherless home. That is 1 in every 3rd child living without a father. Unless you grew up without a father in your life, it might be hard to relate to someone who didn't. However, those that have fathers, I'm sure can imagine how hard it must be for those that don't. Fatherless households have a huge negative impact on the chances of a young girl's success. Being raised by a single mother raises the risk of teen pregnancy by 29%. Growing up, I sought love from men twice my age and had sex at a very young age. Fatherlessness raises the likelihood of dropping out of high school by 22%, which I'm one of those statistics, being that I quit school in the 10th grade. I left school in the middle of my sophomore year. Even though I got a GED, I missed out on all kinds of social learning that you get from high school. I've never been to a high school dance or a prom until I took my son. I had never been to a football game. That raises the likelihood of being poor by 44% if you're raised by a single mother. I know being raised by a single mom, we were always below poverty level. As a young girl, my mother and I were at below poverty level. My mom had to work 2 jobs to make ends meet, having me with babysitters all the time. So I basically grew up without a mother as well. Fatherless women tend to grow up with self-esteem problems and feeling of unworthiness. This causes them to engage in love-seeking behavior. As a young girl, I felt unworthy and unworthy of love. I tried to fix that by giving people what I thought that they wanted instead of who I really was. According to Islanda Van Dan, the role of a father is to teach his daughter how to be in a non-sexual, intimate male relationship. It's a daughter's first relationship and shows her how a man should treat her. Without this healthy relationship, a woman has no idea what the standard should be. A and you make lifelong mistakes, drug abuse, overeating, and all of the effects that it will have on your children that you eventually have. A study of 134 children with father involvement showed that children are more social, academically, and emotionally adjusted than those who grow up without. I can see the difference in both of my daughter and my son with the effects that they have growing up with a father. As we've seen, there's a huge number of positive effects of having a father being involved with his children. For many girls, that is simply not a reality, and they have a lot of work ahead of them. But if we educate our daughters and sons on how to treat people, and how to have healthy relationships, that will show them that putting others first is the way to go. I know that with hard work, people can work on the fatherless epidemic in America.